Imagine stepping into a wetland at dawn, the air thick with moisture, dragonflies zipping past, and the subtle croaks of hidden life resonating through the marshes. Wetlands are among the most mysterious ecosystems on Earth, teeming with life yet concealing creatures so unusual, so utterly bizarre, that you might think they belong in a sci-fi movie. Today, we're diving deep into three of the strangest reptiles lurking in these watery worlds, creatures whose adaptations challenge our understanding of evolution and survival. Our first marvel comes from the slow-moving dark waters of South America. The mata-mata turtle, Chelus fimbriata. At first glance, it looks less like a turtle, and more like a chunk of bark that's come alive. Its rough, knobby shell, wide flat head, and fringed skin allow it to vanish seamlessly among fallen leaves and floating vegetation. But camouflage isn't its only trick. The mata-mata is an ambush predator, lying motionless for hours in the water, mouth slightly agape. Tiny fish, drawn in by curiosity or hunger, mistake the fringes around its head for water plants, only to be vacuumed in with a rapid expansion of the turtle's throat. Scientists call this method gape and suck feeding, and it's astonishingly effective. Some reports suggest the mata-mata can swallow prey almost as large as its own head. Interestingly, the mata-mata is a freshwater specialist, confined to slow-moving streams, swamps, and marshes. Its flattened shell allows it to blend perfectly among submerged branches, while its tubular snout acts like a snorkel, letting it breathe without revealing its position. Ecologically, this turtle helps regulate fish populations, keeping the ecosystem balanced. But what really makes the mata-mata strange isn't just its looks. It's the way it seems almost designed for invisibility, a living testament to the power of natural selection in the shadows of wetlands. Now, let's travel halfway across the world to the rivers of India and Nepal, where the Gharial, Gavialis gangeticus, patrols the waters with an almost prehistoric air. Long, narrow snouts bristling with needle-like teeth, the Gharial is built entirely for one purpose: catching fish with surgical precision. Unlike the massive, broad-snouted crocodiles we usually imagine, the Gharial is streamlined, a river specialist. Its snout can snap shut in a fraction of a second, and its eyes sit high on the skull, giving it perfect vision for spotting fish below the surface. During mating season, male gharials develop a bulbous growth on the snout called a gara, used to amplify bellowing calls that attract females. Ecologically, gharials are crucial to river health. By preying exclusively on fish, they prevent any single species from dominating, maintaining biodiversity. However, they are among the most endangered reptiles in the world, threatened by habitat destruction, dam construction, and accidental entanglement in fishing nets. The Gharial reminds us that strange doesn't just mean fascinating, it can also mean fragile. One might wonder, why did the Gharial evolve so differently from other crocodilians? The answer lies in specialization. In wetlands and riverine habitats where food competition is fierce, the Gharial's slim snout and fast strikes gave it an evolutionary edge. Nature favored precision over power, proving that even in the reptile kingdom, brains and subtlety can trump brute force. Finally, let's creep into the tall grasses and reed beds of North America, Europe, and parts of Asia, where something even stranger lurks: the glass lizard, genus Ophisaurus. At first glance, you might think you're seeing a snake. Long, limbless, and smooth-bodied, it slithers through the undergrowth with hypnotic grace. But look closely, and you'll notice tiny vestigial limbs near the head or tail, a hint that this is no ordinary snake. It's a lizard, and a very clever one at that. Glass lizards earned their name because of their fragile tails, which can shatter and break away if grabbed by a predator. This isn't a defect, it's a survival strategy. The lizard can escape, leaving its tail behind as a distraction while it slinks away to safety. The tail will regenerate over time, though never quite as perfectly as the original. They are primarily insectivorous, hunting grasshoppers, beetles, and spiders, but some species will take small rodents. Glass lizards are also semi-fossorial, meaning they spend much of their time burrowing and hiding under debris, a trait that helps them survive in fluctuating wetland environments. Ecologically, they play an essential role in controlling insect populations, and their unusual morphology gives us clues about limb evolution and the gradual transition from lizard to snake-like forms. The glass lizard, like the mata-mata and the Gharial, shows us that wetlands are not just breeding grounds or stopovers. They are evolutionary laboratories, where strange adaptations arise to meet the challenges of waterlogged habitats, predation pressures, and competition. What ties these three strange reptiles together isn't geography or taxonomy. It's habitat-driven adaptation. Wetlands are harsh environments. Water levels fluctuate, vegetation is dense, and prey and predators abound. To survive, reptiles must innovate. The mata-mata uses mimicry, the Gharial precision, and the glass lizard disguise. Each has evolved in a way that maximizes survival while minimizing energy expenditure. Ambush, specialization, and escape mechanisms dominate their strategies. And in a sense, these adaptations are ecosystem services. Each strange trait benefits not only the reptile, but the wetland itself, maintaining balance, diversity, and resilience. Consider the mata-mata again. By controlling small fish populations, it indirectly affects insect populations, vegetation growth, and even water clarity. Gharials, by keeping certain fish populations in check, prevent algal blooms that could suffocate wetlands. Glass lizards, by hunting insects, control pests that could otherwise decimate plants or carry diseases. In other words, these oddball reptiles are tiny ecosystem engineers, quietly shaping the wetlands they call home. But as strange and wonderful as these reptiles are, wetlands around the world are under siege. Draining for agriculture, pollution, invasive species, and climate change all threaten the habitats that nurtured these evolutionary marvels. Species like the Gharial teeter on the edge of extinction, while the mata-mata and glass lizard face habitat fragmentation that reduces genetic diversity and resilience. Conservation isn't just about protecting pretty animals or iconic species. Sometimes it's about the weird ones, the bizarre, the overlooked, the creatures that don't look like much but are ecologically priceless. Protecting wetlands protects them all, and in doing so, we safeguard a living library of strange evolutionary experiments, each species a page in nature's manual for survival. So, what can we learn from these three strange reptiles? First, never underestimate the power of adaptation. Nature's creativity often surpasses anything human engineers could dream up. Second, even creatures that seem strange or ugly play crucial roles in ecosystems. The mata-mata, Gharial, and glass lizard each fill a niche so specialized that removing them would ripple through their habitats in unexpected ways. And finally, wetlands themselves are hidden worlds of wonder, teeming with life that often goes unseen. Every branch, every murky pool, every reed bed could conceal a creature that has evolved for millennia to survive, thrive, and, sometimes, astonish us with sheer oddity. As you walk past a marsh or paddle through a river, remember, beneath the calm surface, strange, elegant, and sometimes terrifying reptiles are quietly living out lives of ingenuity, precision, and survival. These are the wetlands' unsung marvels, proof that in nature, weird is wonderful, and survival often favors the most unexpected forms. The wetlands are a stage, and these strange reptiles are its stars, silent, bizarre, and utterly essential. In their scales, shells, and snouts, we glimpse the ingenuity of life itself, sculpted over thousands of years, thriving in the shadows, waiting for anyone curious enough to see. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. See you next time.